Hello everyone, welcome to Movie News Monday, the show where we break down every significant piece of movie news that happened within the last week in a short and concise amount of time for you. I'm your host Dylan Strickland. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get started. Here. Over the past weekend, I saw 3 new films in theaters. The first being Spiral from the Book of Saw. I can tell you now, if you are a regular audience goer, I don't recommend going to see it. I personally enjoy it as a Mega Saw fan, but even then, I only liked it slightly above average. So if you aren't a super Mega Saw fan, I would say don't go to the theaters. However, if you are a Mega Saw fan, maybe give it a shot in theaters. Also coming out, I saw Those Who Wish Me Dead, the new movie starring Angelina Jolie and Jon Bernthal. Let me tell you, the actors in this film perform their roles to near perfection. It's shot and edited well. It's at times an action film. At times it feels like a suspense thriller film. It is a very good movie. Very, very good, and I recommend you go and see it in the theaters if you have time. The final film that I saw, and the one that ended up being my favorite, shockingly, is Profile. It's a story about an undercover journalist who is trying to figure out how Iris recruits new and young ladies into their cause. It's intense, it's scary, it's suspenseful, it's thrilling. My only downside, and this isn't a downside for me, this is just for other people in general, is that it is a lot of reading because it is shot in a way that is on the computer screen interface. So if you don't like reading, then maybe don't go and check it out this weekend. But other than that, be sure to go and see this movie because I'm telling you right now, you will not be disappointed. It is fantastic. And with all those prefaces out of the way, let's get into the regular show. On Monday, in an interview with IndieWire, Seth Rogen said he no longer has any plans to work with James Franco amid his sexual assault allegations. He says that kind of behavior disgusts him, and he cannot work with anybody who does that. As for whether or not they're still friends, he said he wasn't quite ready to comment on that, as that is his personal life, so it kind of makes sense. But I imagine we won't see any more James Franco and Seth Rogen duos unless James Franco is proven innocent. But other than that, don't expect to see it for a very, very long time. Also coming out on Monday, the Venom 2 trailer was released, and I thought it was just okay. However, there were some interesting Easter eggs, one of them being the fact that the Daily Bugle newspaper that is shown in the Venom 2 trailer is the Daily Bugle newspaper from the old Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. This aligns with the Morbius trailer, which had what looked like a Sam Raimi Spider-Man swinging on a poster in the background. I'm super intrigued to see what they're doing with the Spider-Man related stuff. Not necessarily Venom 2. I did like the first Venom. I wasn't obsessed with it, but I did think it was good, so I am excited to see this movie, but the trailer didn't knock my socks off. I'm just more interested in the Spider-Man aspect of it than anything else, to be honest. I'm super pumped to see this movie on September 24th this year. NBC announced on Monday that they are going to be canceling the Golden Globes on their network for 2022. This is, of course, due to the fact that the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, the people who basically host the Golden Globes and are the ones who pick the candidates to receive the awards, is apparently a corrupt and horrible association. This is what is alleged against them, and it's not impossible to believe, to be honest. It seems that there has been some racial exclusion of black people in particular. There are 87 members of the Hollywood Foreign Press. Those are the people who make up the people who decide the candidates and also the winners of all the awards at the Golden Globes. However, not a single one of those candidates is African American or black. And one of the members of the Hollywood Foreign Press has said that they haven't had a black member for over 20 years. This means that there is some exclusion taking place. There's no way you go 20 years without putting a black person in place to be a part of the people who are deciding who wins the awards. This is horrible news, and I support NBC in this decision because the Hollywood Foreign Press needs to get their shit together. Excuse my friend. There are also claims that studios can buy out Hollywood Foreign Press members. Essentially, they pamper them up, and then the Hollywood Foreign Press will then pick those studios' movies to win Golden Globes. Several actors have come out and been disgusted about this. Tom Cruise returned his Golden Globes in a box to the Hollywood Foreign Press, and Scarlett Johansson has avidly spoken out against them. This is crazy news. It doesn't personally affect me all that much because I never took the Golden Globes seriously just because of how the Hollywood Foreign Press works. Only 87 people deciding who wins Movie of the Year is a bit ridiculous to me, especially since the Hollywood Foreign Press are just journalists. They're not even people working in the industry, so I never really took it seriously in the first place. But this is horrible, horrible news. Also on Monday, when Margot Robbie was asked about the potential of a Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy relationship, she says that she has been chewing off the ear of DC executives to make it happen. She wants it to happen. She's in support of it. Do I think that really means anything? No, but it is interesting to hear that the actress does want this to happen, and maybe that will push people to be a little more like accepting of that idea in a movie. I would like to see that personally. Even though I enjoy her toxic relationship with the Joker, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing, a fresh take with Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, because I've never seen it before, honestly. I don't read those comics, and I don't watch the animated show. So, if it happens in live action, I might be interested in seeing it. That report was brought to you by Den of Geek. Starting on Monday and going throughout the entire week, Knives Out 2 has been adding stellar cast members to its cast. I'm just going to list them off and the days that they were announced on instead of having to jump back to this same story point over and over again in the newscast. So, here we go. Starting on Monday, Dave Bautista joined the cast. This is brought to you by Variety. Starting out on Tuesday, Edward Norton joined the cast. This is brought to you by Deadline. And finally on Thursday, Kathryn Hahn has also joined the cast of Knives Out 2. This cast is shaping up to be something to really look out for. I love the cast of the first film. I'm really liking where this cast is going with the second film. I love Rian Johnson as a director. I think he's a brilliant creative, and I can't wait to see what he does with these movies. No plot details were released whatsoever, but I can expect that they will start shooting it soon, maybe even this summer, due to the fact that they are casting right now. Starting out on Tuesday, A24 released a new trailer for their film, The Green Knight, and honestly, it looked freaking awesome. It looked really, really good. I'm very excited to see this, way more excited than Venom, shockingly. I am a superhero guy. But man, this trailer blew my socks off. A24 always knocks it out of the park for me. I don't know what it is. They've maybe had one miss in the past 5 films I've seen. So I'm super pumped to see this, and I really like this second trailer way more than the first one. Also on Tuesday, Variety is reporting that Ms. Marvel's production has come to a close. They are now in post. Anything that will be added onto the show will be in post-production. I mean, this is great news. It's set to come out late this year. This is, like I said last week, the show that I'm not really too, excited to see. I mean, I don't really know anything about the character, but of course I'll be watching it because I seem to have an addiction. It's not a joke. It's not a joke, please. Anyway, no further plot details were released, and I will be watching it when it comes out. Starting off on Wednesday, Emily Blunt seems to have doused the Fantastic Four rumors that her and her love, John Krasinski, will be in the film as Mr. Fantastic and Sue Storm. This is a bummer. She says that she does not like Marvel films and that she also wouldn't be opposed to being in them, but she has not yet gotten the call. I don't think they're quite ready to cast Fantastic Four yet, so I don't think she's out of the picture yet. But her saying she doesn't like them is a little disheartening. John Krasinski said he actually does like them and enjoys what they make, so maybe, maybe not. She did kind of the whole, if it's a good script, I'll definitely do it, but they're not for me, really. So, we'll see what happens. I personally would love this fan casting. I just think John Krasinski is a man. That's it. He's a man. And he acts. That was, of course, brought to you by Variety. On James Gunn's Twitter account, he seemingly teased that the Peacemaker show, the spin-off of Suicide Squad, which will be coming out on HBO Max as a miniseries, seems to be having a season 2. In response to a tweet asking him whether or not he deleted some things from the first season of Peacemaker, he said yes, saving some for season 2. That is a direct quote of his tweet. Apparently season 1 will come out sometime in 2022. Bring it on, man. If he thinks he has a character that can shine and shine well, I'm all for it. A new report from Variety says that tensions are growing over at Disney Studios. Bob Chapek, the new CEO of Disney, is apparently putting Suits in charge over the creatives. The way that Bob Iger, the previous CEO, had it set up was that if you are a creative and you are proven to be a profitable creative, you will then be granted more power. This is now kind of changing with Bob Chapek's leadership, and now it's more or less, if you are a suit, then you have the power and the creatives listen to the suits. I'm not really on board with this method of thinking. I don't think that it was effective. I think that what Disney has been doing has been very, very effective, and I think there are numbers to prove that. But this is the beginning stages of his CEO time. So maybe, just maybe, it might work out. But right now, I'm not quite on board. We'll see what happens later on. Staying in that same Disney vein, on Thursday, it was announced that Jungle Cruise will be hitting theaters and Disney Plus Premier Access at the same time. I genuinely think this is horrible news. I think that if they keep doing this, the movie theaters are going to stop existing. That is dead stop what I believe will happen. The movie theaters are not making any money when you release your film on Disney Plus at the same time. However, this might also be a way to push people into the theaters, because now they'll have to pay $30 to watch it at home instead of just having a night out with the family and paying $30 to see it at a movie theater. I don't know. We'll see what happens once Black Widow rolls around. That'll kind of be their first foot in the water, the first penguin to jump. So maybe it'll work out, maybe it won't. Also coming out on Thursday, The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard released its first trailer. The movie starring Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson and Salma Hayek. I loved the first movie. This first trailer I thought was actually really, really good, and I cannot wait to see it on June 16th when it comes out. If you'd like to check out the trailer for yourself, all the trailers that I talk about in this video are linked down in the description, so give it a watch if you have the time. Also on Thursday, Jeff Fowler, the director of the original Sonic and also the director of Sonic 2, announced that production has officially wrapped on Sonic 2. They are done filming. It has also been confirmed that Knuckles and Tails will both be appearing in this movie. I think it's great news. I like the first Sonic. All the original cast is set to return, and I think that Jim Carrey is a perfect Dr. Robotnik, so I'm so glad that he is also returning. I can't wait to see what they have in store for us. I thought the first Sonic was just kind of in the middle. It's an average film. There were some good laughs, but there were also some clear issues. And now the director is getting a second chance, and I think that that experience he gained from the first film can only help him in this one. And this piece of news is horrible news and is most definitely going to be killing the movie industries here soon. Shang-Chi and Free Guy have been set to get 45-day release windows. I think this is horrible news, honestly. Theaters don't make a lot of money in the first few weeks of the box office, and after the first 3 weeks, that's kind of when their revenue from the box office starts to pick up. But now there is no more 3 weeks. Now it goes straight to at home, and people don't even have to go to the theaters anymore to see it because it'll be on their favorite streaming service. And that's why movie theaters are going to be hit really, really hard by this. This will eventually kill them. Unless they can figure out some different way to do this, maybe they start taking more of the box office so that they can stay around and the streaming services can take their movies and put them out at the same time. But if this model is the way that it's going to be, it will be catastrophic, and it probably will be the end of movie theaters as we know them. That information was of course released on Disney's Quarterly Call. Moving on into Friday, Boyd Holbrook from Narcos and Shanette Renee Wilson from The Resident have been cast in Indiana Jones 5. I can't ask for more than movement on Indiana Jones 5. I mean, we haven't had any movement, but the past few weeks we've been getting movement once a week. They're expected to start production this summer, and they really, really need to start that because Harrison Ford is getting old, man. He can't be doing those stunts and stuff and still managing to make these action blockbusters. But more casting news is good news, and I can't wait for them to start production and for us to finally get an Indiana Jones 5 that is hopefully better than Indiana Jones 4. Also returning for Indiana Jones 5, I don't quite know if this was news or common knowledge, but I just thought it was cool because it was mentioned in the article. John Williams will be returning for Indiana Jones 5. It'll likely be his last piece because he quit Star Wars. I'm imagining that this will be it for Indiana Jones for him. I couldn't be more excited. I love John Williams. I think he's probably the greatest composer ever, period. So bring Indiana Jones 5 on. The Hollywood Reporter broke that Thomas Bishuga and Ali Salem will be the directors of Secret Invasion. More movement on Secret Invasion. I'm shocked that they picked the cast for that show before they picked the directors. It seems like an odd choice, or maybe they already had the director's pick and we just didn't know about it. But I was like, why are you casting people without having someone there to direct them? that was a little weird to me, that the order of events that this information came out. Who knows? Secret Invasion is coming, and I'm going to watch it, of course. Also on Friday, a new Snake Eyes poster was released, but then on Sunday, actually a trailer came out. It was only about a minute long, but I actually thought it was pretty fun. It looks pretty fun. I'm not a big G.I. Joe guy. I don't really know anything about the franchise besides kind of the first two movies, and those weren't amazing. But I thought this trailer actually looked really good. Henry Goldman is going to be playing Snake Eyes. I love it. I thought it was fun. I thought the color palette and the poster looks phenomenal. I mean, look at this. It looks great, doesn't it? But I really, really enjoyed the trailer. If you'd like to check it out for yourself, like I said, all of them are linked down below in the description. And finally, on Sunday, AT&T has proposed a new deal to put Discovery Plus stuff onto HBO Max. This will include Discovery Plus shows, HGTV shows, Food Network shows, and also HBO Max content all together on the HBO Max app or the Discovery Plus app, or maybe even both. They just have Discovery Plus that has all of HBO Max's content, and HBO Max, which will also now have all of Discovery Plus's content. This is crazy news. However, a lot of Warner Media executives seem to be very, very hesitant about it, as they just got into the deal with AT&T and DirecTV. So there seems to be a little hesitancy to embark in another $100 billion deal with Discovery Plus. We'll see what happens. They've said to have been talking about the deal, and maybe there will be more information on it today, but we'll see with next week's news. And that is going to do it for Movie News Monday. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Of course, I'll be back for another Bad Batch breakdown later on this week, and I will see you guys next week for another installment of Movie News Monday. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next week.